Hello and welcome to Hungover Radio, as we're all wrecked right now. And what did you choose right now to get me, Greg? Fuck's sake. Yeah, anyway, let's go straight into the gossip because we're all pretty tired. And let's just do it. Let's start with Prem. The first thing I've got on my list is Nox is going to actually play for Epsilon again. Before he was like, they're trying to phase him out, get some replacements in like Hazard, Luzu. But now he's just going to be like, nah, fuck it, I'll play. What do we all think? Nox better than Hazard?
Best move for the team, really. Like,
Yeah.
without Nox, like they were getting a lot worse than they were. Like he's their main caller, and without him, they were dropping in skill definitely. And Hazard's got to get it back to the skill level. And it's going to take him a long time. So, best move that they could have done, and that's pretty much it from my point of view. Cadis, what about you?
Yeah, man, I've got to agree entirely. I think Hazard's better probably individually. Well, when he's on his game, he's better individually, but I think for the team, Nox is better. And aside from that, I'm going to call it a hiccup against Infused last season. Like, why would you change a winning formula if you didn't have to?
So we agreed it's the best move for everyone, Ben. Pretty unanimously.
Maybe not for Hazard.
I know, Hazard might be better off on his own. Let's stick with Epsilon-based news, which is I-46 news. Woo! Shintaz and Extrema are going to be playing for Epsilon at I-46 instead of Land Dodger Extraordinaire Walters and instead of Randa. I'm not sure why instead of Randa, if anyone else knows.
I think we need to add Randa to the Land Dodger Extraordinaire now, because he's only been to one LAN as Epsilon. I'm pretty sure, has Walters been to one LAN as Epsilon? No, he hasn't, has he? So
He's
Walters is
been to
still
one
slightly
LAN.
ahead of Randa, but Randa's only been to one LAN with them. Yeah, sounds about right. So, bit weird. I don't know why Randa is missing the LAN. I haven't actually talked to him. Maybe he can't get a time off work or a holiday or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the official line is, but it's a pretty well-known fact that Randa has like had issues a lot, like in making the time for Epsilon. Like I've heard quite often that he's kind of had to book like time off work just to play online games. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a mutual decision or if it's more like kind of a slick move or if Randa just stepped down. But I think Randa's performance has been affected like by his lack of time to play the game. I mean, if you compare his kind of individual like DM skills and shit with his time like with like the Temu teams and that kind of stuff he used to play with. I mean, obviously he's a better player all around now, but I mean, he's not nowhere near as sharp, and I don't think he's ever going to be as sharp as he was because he simply doesn't have the time.
Yeah, like as you said, I think for the ETF12 final last season, he booked 3 days off work or something like that. So he had 2 days of PCWing and then the other one, like something like that, because he doesn't finish work until like midway through the 2 matches. So like in the second game, so I think he booked 3 days of work just for it. Like that's what I've heard anyway. Yeah. So.
What do we think of then? Will Extrema be able to step it up? I see no reason why Extrema won't be back to like top form straight away. He's a fucking
Well, yeah,
beast.
as far as I know, they're getting both Extrema and Shintaz in pretty soon. I'm guessing as soon as the season finishes, they'll take a little break or something like that. But then like July time kind of thing, they're getting both of them in for like kind of regular practice, cutting the other two completely.
I think it's even before July, from what I've heard.
I heard
maybe
Middle of June. I heard
Yeah.
June from Shintaz. So
Maybe that's it then. Those
yeah,
months
so
both sound too similar. I can never remember the difference.
yeah, like obviously Extremer is a beast on LAN, and like once he gets back into it, I'm sure he'll be as good as he used to be. And then Shintaz is Shintaz. He's always been good at TF2, so it won't take him very long to like settle into that team at all. And like I don't think we'll see much of a difference come the LAN. It might even benefit them, with Infused being so used to playing against their old style team. But having a little mix up will probably benefit them.
Yeah, Shintaz is like very different in playstyle really to Walters. He's less direct, a bit more pulling you one way and the other rather than just DMing you.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see really how it fits in. I don't really want to like second guess how it's going to work. But is that the same team that went to the last LAN, like I-43? Is that the same Epsilon?
Except quad instead of Shintaz. Was it?
Extreme
right?
wasn't
Was that
Extreme
ages
wasn't
ago?
I-43, was he?
Yeah,
wasn't.
Extremer played for
No, he
Epsilon at
wasn't.
I-43. Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. No way. No way. It was I-40 they had Extremer. For sure.
Hey, listen, have you been on the Wii?
I-43.
Really?
Randa wasn't
Yeah.
at I-43. He was there, definitely.
When did Randa go to LAN with him then?
I don't think he has.
What,
Has he?
the French LAN the other week,
Did he? Oh,
couple of
Cambridge.
months
Ah,
ago.
I didn't even know he went to that one. Damn it, Randa. Keep me informed, bro. Anyway.
I'm gonna go follow him on Twitter to keep updated next time. Yeah.
Indeed. Wow, fuck it then. Winning formula back in practice.
Yeah, indeed. So obviously, yeah, as you say, Quad was there before. I forgot about that. So Shintaz is replacing that, really. So yeah, it's kind of all up in the air, really, with I-46. It's so far away that we don't know how these teams are going to be performing going into it. But
Yeah, I think
reckon,
as far as a promising on paper lineup goes, I don't think it gets much better now. Like, I didn't think Epsilon could really be improved, but I mean, on paper, they've somehow improved it. Like,
I'd
a
probably
pretty
agree there.
safe bet as well. Like,
yeah.
it's hardly sticking your neck on the line picking up Extremer and Shintaz. Let's move on to other Prem-based gossip. Starting with Cadus's team, which is now actual TCM. You finally get to wear the tag.
The
And
worst kept secret in TF2 is finally out.
Didn't see that one coming, bro. Shocker. And you also picked up Rebelli, who I think is a decent pickup out of the possible options.
He's no
I
quad.
think-
They, as it stands, it feels like they were like 5 or 10 times better with quad. Like, no offense to Rebelli, but he's not been that much on form, and they play like completely different roles. And quad like fit into that team really, really well when he first like came back into the game. And like obviously it's going to take a bit of time for Rebelli to come into it, and they haven't really played many PCWs, but it's at the moment it's gonna take at least a month more, I reckon, for them to get back to the sort of form they want to be at. I don't know what you think, Cadus, whether your PCWs might have been going better than what I've seen, but
Nah, man,
that's
it's
what I
a,
think.
it's a fair comment. I mean, like you said, they are both completely different. I mean, and if you're going to judge performance, I guess Quad would have had the stronger performances as of late. But Rebelli, I don't even know how long he's been gone, but it's a fair fucking while. And I think for anyone to come back after that long, it's going to take them a little while, whoever they are. But it's like, it's a work in progress still. It's like still relatively early days. I know we've had it going for a while now, but it's been stop start, stop start. So pretty happy with Rebelli. He's a funny little guy as well.
Cool. It's always nice to have a little Finn in your team to try and carry you, isn't it?
Yeah, man. And if one doesn't work, just get 3.
Team now. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for TCM, I guess. A nice start to your career under the TCM name. I have to say that right there. But
Finally, they've earned their stripes.
but I guess we'll cover that later rather than
Yeah,
covering
we'll
it
get
now,
to that, Cadus. Don't worry.
What are they
Don't
everyone
worry.
talking about? I don't know what you guys are on about.
With our last piece of Prem news is Too Strong picked up Coins, and then Coins has gone to Brazil for a month for work. So they've not unpicked up Coins, but they're still scoutless basically for a month.
Taimu can't play for 2 weeks.
This
He's
week,
on holiday
is
or
it?
something. Yeah, I think it's for 2 weeks. I think it's the last week and this week. So it's only 2 weeks they're going to be scoutless for, and they'll just make do with Mercs. I think that's what Taimu said to me. So had to wait and see whether they do just like play their games at this Merc. I guess it'll be the same anyway. Coins, as he said, has only just joined them, so having just getting a random scout Merc isn't it's not going to be that much of a difference to their team. So
What do you think of Coins as a fit into the team long term?
I don't know. Like, obviously he's playing with Harry Hook, and like I wouldn't have said before watching them play that their 2 play styles would have worked that well. But like having watched a few of their games, it does seem to work like pretty well for their team. But yeah, it's still one that you got to give it a bit of time because Coins hasn't played for a while, and it's one of those sort of things. So it's another one where I just say I have to give them a little bit of time. I think they probably could have found a better scout, but they couldn't. Coins is still a really, really good scout, and it's not the worst pickup in the world.
Yeah,
I don't think. Would you have to agree, Commander X?
I always have to agree.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say that I think Coins is like no doubt a good scout, but I'm not sure. I think it's kind of it's a very like safe option because I don't know. Ever since I don't know Coins that well, but as like an opponent of Coins' various teams over the past year, he seems to be like one of the most like up there with like the most unreliable players that I could think of. Like replacing a Stannis with coins is like for like in terms of how much I would trust them to actually fucking stay there for more than a week. I mean, like, I don't know what it was with EQ. Like he was there sometimes, then he was not there sometimes. I think he was clear with them; he wasn't always available, but then he just randomly disappeared for weeks at a
For,
time.
for, for the last official, he just no-showed for like a week. He just wasn't online. Like he was
Yeah.
like online the day before the official, then for a week afterwards, he just wasn't online.
Like, it strikes me as a pretty desperate move as well because Coins isn't, in my experience dealing with Coins, he isn't one to sit quietly while shit's going like fucked. If something's going on he doesn't agree with, he's gonna let you know and like do his like old grumpy man whine about it. I'm not quite sure how compatible that would be with Temu, but I think it's like
Tammy doesn't
I
rage
don't know.
anymore. Remember
I don't
that.
know.
So.
Oh yeah, no, he just whines instead now and claims the difference. But no, I think I'm guessing Temu's banking on a Stannis rearing his head from somewhere because I think it's a very like it's very
Uh,
safe. I don't
it's
think
it from
it's
what I gather, it's just until the end of the season for the moment. So
right.
you know, so I I don't really know what's going to be. Like,
From what I,
obviously,
oh
go
sorry,
for
you
it.
go.
I was just going to say, like, obviously they needed someone to pick up and just to finish the season, and it was simple. They played with the coins in one game, and they just decided to pick him up, and then they just rolled with it. And you know, there's only what 4 games left, I think, this of the season. Something I don't actually know what week we're in. 3 or 4 weeks left. So
6.
yeah, but then everybody sort of got catch-up games. So let's say 4 games left.
At least.
Yeah. So yeah, as you say, it's a safe. It's just a pickup that works for them for the moment, and I don't know. Have to wait and see. What were you going to say, Zavi?
From what I hear, I can't remember his name, but Timely's got some American friend who he thinks is the best guy in the world. He's going to try and get to join his EU team. Timely, type his name in chat now.
Is this?
Timely's got like you know how Timely's now plays in America. He's like set up a recruitment post and stuff. It's not Harbu. Tony Swan.
Oh,
There
yeah,
we go.
yeah.
Tony Swan. His friend Tony Swan's apparently a sick gamer, and he's going to get him to join his EU team next season or something.
The famous Tony Swan we've all heard so much about.
I mean, I've got at least 3 posters on my wall of him that I can see from where I'm sitting. So I don't know about you guys, but yeah. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the dizzying heights of Div 1 gossip, which actually wait a second. Deserto are Prem, aren't they? I'm missing that one out. On purpose and on heart, yeah. So basically, shit went down, and from what I heard, Skeege almost got kicked, and then Poop dodged kicking someone for the umpteenth time, and then Poop and Rob left, and they're going to complete the seasons with Mercs. Confirm or deny?
Yeah, sounds about right. I like there was kind of like an ultimatum at one point in the middle of a couple of weeks ago where people were like, "We don't want to play." Say people. Shall I name names?
Name names.
Yeah, name names. Let's do it. Yeah, Rob pretty much said he doesn't want to play with Skeege, and then like kind of like laid down saying, "I'm leaving unless we kick Skeege." So
Why do you think he did that, Greg?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit of rage and stuff like that going on.
Does Skeech have a bad attitude or something?
I don't know, man.
I think they're all
I'm not.
upset about not picking up me when I was available still. I think it still
Yeah.
plays in all their minds.
That's obviously what it is. Like,
Oh, yeah,
but
Rob is Oranok, by the way, for everyone not in the circle jerk.
so
Just so
I
you know.
Okay,
It's
I'm
almost
very,
like we're public or something.
yeah, sorry about that, guys. So he's the roaming soldier. There you go, the roaming soldier for Deserter. For those of you who don't even know who he is, yeah, I was very nonplussed about the situation. I was just like, I do whatever's going to be done because I'm relatively new to the team, and I'm still not really had to put up with anything, or and nothing really gets on my nerves that much in our games. It's just like certain things, like with the game style that I try and address, and so we just made the decision to kick Skeege, and then like 10 minutes later, because Poop was a pussy, I think someone else kicked Skeege. I don't remember who it was. And then
Well,
10 minutes later, like Skeege talked to like Rob, and then it was like, oh, actually Skeege is still here, but Poop's gonna be calling. And then like it comes to Sunday, and we have like an awful official against Too Strong, and afterwards Poop's like, yep, I'm leaving. That's it. If I have to play like this, rather than be outside drinking with my mates, then I'm not going to do it. So yeah, so he left, and then he doesn't want to finish the season, and Rob doesn't want to finish, or Oranok doesn't want to finish the season without Poop. So that means we're going to be playing with 2 Mercs, and I'm just going to be playing the season now as well, and look for a new team come the end of the season. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the story.
Finish with Mercs, like play out.
Yeah, but I've told the guys that I don't want to play anything other than just like one night for the officials, and that's it. I don't want to play like extra nights for wasted PCW time.
Doing the old Carnage style,
Yeah, exactly.
just get through it, just get through it, kind of thing.
Yes, we don't want to fold. We don't want to, ruin some of the season and stuff like that. I mean, we've grabbed points here and there off teams as well, so like it would diminish 2 Strong's win against us. Like if we folded now because we've taken 3 points off TCM, we've taken a point off Epsilon. So yeah, it's we're just gonna finish the season out, and who knows, we might grab one of those random wins on another gravel pit or an obscure or something like that, whatever's left in the season.
Like Carnage did last season against Epsilon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of sad. Like, I think Rob was the best player and Poop was sick as well. But obviously, if it's just not working, if the comms aren't going there, everyone's just getting frustrated at each other. It's never going to work.
Like the biggest thing is it felt like some of us had different views about what the team wanted to do. That's what it felt like, and that's what the major clash inside the team was. Like
everyone wants the team to play in a different way.
No, it's like some people really only enjoy it if they win and stuff like that, and some people are just there just to have fun. It doesn't matter to them if we win or lose, and it's such a massive clash when that sort of thing happens, and it gets on people's nerves, and that's what I'd say is the biggest difference in the team.
So it wasn't your fault.
Well, I was in the I enjoy it no matter what category. So maybe it was my fault.
Damn it, Greg,
I had to be really keen, and then it would have been better.
Just try, Greg. Stop folding teams with your poor attitude.
Yeah. So I'd also like to put it out there that I hadn't played for like a week, and I told Poop before the game, I was like, yeah, I'm really bad after like a 4-day break. I don't really want to play an official tonight. So just play it, Eddie. Just play it anyway. Yeah.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Exactly. So just put that out there right now. But yeah, so yeah, not taking anything too strong away from too strong. Even they played really well that night, and like it was still a close game on Snakewater, and then Gravel Pit they pretty much just dicked at us.
It's because time is so good at Gravel Pit.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, I don't know. As I say, we're just going to finish the season, grab Mercs. It might be like lower, like some Div 1 players that play the season rather than Prem players to Merc. I don't really know. I'm letting Skeej sort it, and he'll just tell me what's going on. So, oh, it was CC. I take that back. Yeah, it wasn't too strong. It was CC. Yeah, I can't even remember. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tarkus.
Greg doesn't know who you scrubs are. Who are you? CC too strong? I don't know.
I've been up since 4:30 today at the Jubilee. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, like, I'm fucking shattered.
Right now we're gonna move for reals this time onto the dizzying heights of Div 1 gossip. We're gonna start with me. I like talking about me. I kicked Droso.
Hey, following in Cadus's footsteps.
I just want to be like my hero, Cadus. You know. Next, I'm gonna recruit Linus.
But no, it was totally the sucker that cut Droso before.
What was it?
Right, okay, yeah, basically we cut him because Septique is better. And if anyone hasn't seen the chat log, right, basically, bit of background. I was like, Droso,
all
bro...
of those who don't read Commander X's chat logs.
More people need to follow me on Twitter, man, what can I say? Yeah, basically, I PM'd him, like, blah, 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 we're going to use Septique instead of you. He was like, whatever, I don't care about this team. That's meant to be French, okay?
Sounded like Coins.
Coins is pretty French. And basically, that was it. And then a few minutes later, I just get Nis. Basically, read that. Basically, I got called fucking bad teammate. But yeah, he's gone now, and we've got Septique, and we're happier most of the time.
As much as I agree with cutting Droso, gotta say that Droso has a point. You are probably the worst teammate ever.
Am I worse than Dempsey?
Well, I've never played with Dempsey, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I want to ask you right here, right now, did you drop 5 Ubers or not in the last game?
I dropped like 3, I think. 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
But
So
three
that's
of us.
awfully
Is
close
this
to
like,
5.
is this like
So
the
I'm going to
section
say
where you have
5.
to, like, take 3 away or divide it by
Okay.
3? Or times it by 3 even, that's the real number.
No, to be fair, most of them were snipers, which I blame my team for. The only one that I did completely drop the ball in is the first one, like 5 minutes into the map, where Tvik jumps me, hits me with 100 damage, is point blank next to me, and I decide to wait and see how the situation plays out, and instead just drop the fucking Uber. Whoops. Oh well.
Okay, so you are confirming you dropped 4 Ubers.
I'm 3 or 4. It's unconfirmed. The demo.
It's at least
demo
4. I actually watched it. It's at least 4. There was 3 headshots and 1 soldier, the Twit clay, and those are just the ones I remember.
That sounds right.
And
That's like 4 sounds right.
Why don't we talk about the actual moves? So you got rid of Drozo and brought in Septique. Septique is absolutely sick, so I really like that pickup. Like,
When he's not
when he's not hungover. Is he like one of us?
Me and Septique are the worst. Like today, we played a match, and me and Septique were both just a bit rubbish. We were hungover.
Rubbish! Do it, Cadus.
Yep.
I haven't got the strength, man. You're fucking bad. Let's just say that.
Not that bad, Septique. You know what I mean. Yeah. Also, we had time we play in Demo Man, which is we still won. Anyway, next move. Talash got back banned.
Oh my god, really? I didn't know that. We're so on the ball.
Our bi-monthly show. Yeah. Basically, he claims it was for using this see-through model or something, and that might be true. But then he told a couple of people like different stories. It's all a bit very fuzzy, and basically, his team Justice League are now looking for a new scout.
Well,
so
put it this way: that see-through models thing was like meant to backban people like 3 months ago. So like, if it has waited this long, I doubt it's the see-through models, honestly. Like, but I don't really know all the ins and outs of it. But people got like when some people use these sort of things which get backbanned like across the board, they all get backbanned on the same day. Like so. In theory, a bunch of people should have been backbanned on the same day as the Lash because that's when it would have been picked up. Like, I assume if he's been using it for a while, like, rather than just turning in one day, I'll try this, yeah. Oh wait, I got backbanned. Like, I just think it's a convenient story that he's come up with, like, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'd say. And I think he shouldn't get unbanned unless there is concise evidence that he didn't cheat, which isn't going to happen. So there we go. So I reckon he just should stay banned for a year, and that's where I'd say it.
Also, just to point out, they've actually picked up Saram, the Spanish scout, instead of Talash now, just to confirm that. But yeah, I agree. Ban the loser.
So they picked up Saram instead of Drozo. Ouch, Drozo. Ouch.
It's okay. He's trying for so many Prem teams. I'm sure he won't have a problem finding a spot.
I hear he was trialing for Epsilon when they needed a scout. Oh wait, no,
really?
that was rumors because they didn't actually need a scout, did they?
I will say that Droso was the next option after Rebelli.
Really?
No.
Thank God. I know Bash was your next option. You actually scared me then. You
My
straight up
heart's
scared me, Kane.
I was like, wait, what? Oh.
God.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to more funny Div 1 news. Basically, Cedo and Justice League wanted to play, but obviously, at this point in time, Saram wasn't on Justice League, so they needed a scout. So they asked for their old friend, Poxy, to play. You know, Poxy? Maybe Div 1, maybe not Div 1. Not the issue. But Animal refused to allow Poxy to merc because he was, quote-unquote, Prem skill.
Good call, good call. He's not bad, that lad. That lad from Essex.
Got potential.
I'm not even going to comment on that one. That is just plain retarded.
It's got to be devoting. I mean, he can't actually be serious, can he?
Who did they play with instead? Who did they allow to play?
Let me scroll up. Saram played. They just delayed the official.
That's so... so random and I don't know. It's Eastern Europeans for you. Where's Animal from?
Latvia, the
Latvia.
Latvian team. That's a
Latvians
bit of a
for
giveaway.
you. Yeah.
On a similar note, Cider were folded.
Really?
That means we just won our first game. Well played, Autobots.
Oh,
Guys, well
round
done.
of applause.
That's fantastic news. That's just brilliant. Congratulations, you
I'm
played
still
sick.
not
You
100%
didn't drop any Ubers either.
Flawless game. Boom. The only thing is, I'm not actually sure if they would still technically finish above us on 0 points since we're on -1. So if we don't
Yeah,
win
they
anything
would.
soon, we might actually lose to a team that didn't play the season, that had all their results nil-nilled, which would be...
Can't you get your major warning revoked? I
we
don't
have
know
to
what the
play some of
rule
the
is.
games first. Like, we played one game, we're playing another couple this week.
I don't think majors get removed anyway.
No,
I think
you only
you
get
can.
nine moved.
I can wing it. I'm kind of a big deal.
The
I
thing
got
is that you can get the minors removed, and the reason you got the major is because of the minors. So whether if the minors
No,
disappear,
I don't think they do. I think the whole point of minors is like, yeah, you get these warnings, but if you make amends, then they go away. But once you've let them accumulate such that you get like a major warning, then that's just set in stone. I don't actually think you can get rid of it.
okay.
Otherwise, it would be
So it
just kind
seems
of
like a
retarded
system.
system.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be a great system, Cadus. Shut up.
Yeah, Sunny Black's backing me up on Steam. He knows his shit.
Well,
Sunny
I
Black.
would just like to point out that please, if every Div 1 team can beat Autobots 6-0, please, that would be amazing.
I should probably just say this on there. If everyone else folds, we still come last and no one else plays. Like, let's not do that. Let's play fair, guys. Div 1's all about playing fair.
I have a plan, guys. If you lose to Autobots, fold.
Just fold.
Right? There you go.
Wow. We could just start the biggest troll. Oh, God. Sepseek, they've really piled for pressure on now, so step your game up. Put it on you, Sepseek, my star man. Let's move on from my potential humiliation. Let's go to Avenue, who have picked up I Like to Spin and Stark to replace the Jews that they lost to Cracklan. Basically, I Like to Spin is Naughty Badman's medic. Was Naughty Badman medic. Now they need a new medic as well.
Okay. I've heard of I Like to Spin, but I've never really seen him play, and I
Wait,
don't
what?
know who Stark is.
Okay,
I hate to
can't
do
really
a beat,
comment
but could
on
we
that.
just back up a few paces because I was.
let's rewind for Cadus replay. Yeah, okay. So you know Avenue, the team that had all the Jews in, like
I do.
Tarkus, Red Bull, okay?
all the best
Basically,
gamers.
They've picked up Stark and I Like to Spin. I Like to Spin was the medic for Naughty Badmen,
Yeah.
and Stark is the scout from Perilous. Do we all remember that team that upset all those teams in that cup from like Div 4?
We do.
Yeah,
Legends.
Stark's now got his spot in Div 1. He's made for play, and I've just been told Naughty Badmen, aka Haunter and Toad's team, have picked up Psy as their new medic.
Righty ho. I've only seen I Like to Spin play one pickup in my life, so I can't really comment.
I
But
remember you said he was pretty good.
yeah, it seemed like I'd say it's pretty good. I said he probably has potential. He had a good mentality, if you know what I mean. And did most things
About one
right.
pickup.
Yeah, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. Draw all these conclusions.
Any pickups with the other players, with maybe Stark or Psy?
Say that? No, Sai. Is that the same Sai who played with a touchpad on LAN? If so, they have to be sorted because any situation, he's ready to go.
The one who murked for Deserto at one of those lands. Gubbins' friend.
Yeah, the guy he had to play with a touchpad in their matches at LAN because
Yeah.
his mouse just was like, bye.
Apparently, Psy was in Deserter for a bit as well, from what I've heard.
He also got quote unquote kicked, which basically
he
means
got-
Poop did nothing. He just benched him and got someone else to play medic.
No. I think they got someone that wasn't in the team to kick him. That's what I've heard. I'm not 100%
Oh wait,
on
I
that.
think I might have been there. Is that when Valley or DJC just did it because everyone else was just dicking about
Yeah.
for far too long about not kicking him?
I think so, yeah.
I think Valley was like, "Fuck it, I'm PMing him." Took it out of their hands.
So Sai has joined
Naughty
Naughty
Badman,
Badman.
Coda's
Okay.
team.
Okay, cool. Have you talked about Stark and I Like to Spin then?
Yes.
Okay.
There's
cool.
already much to say, but we have to wait to see how they adjust. Well, I like to spin, obviously, but wait to see how Stark adjusts to the jump up in skill. I think Perilous, before he left them, we're playing like Div 2, so he's had like a bit of a... He's not going straight from Scrub to Hero, but we'll see how it pans out. And I'm pretty sure that is the end of gossip type things. And now we get to move on to the news about this Highlander game that Vanilla TV casted instead of a Prem game.
Who won? Who won? I can't take it any longer, man.
Highlander won. I don't give a shit.
Who won?
Nobody knows Cadus, and there might be a good reason why.
Some team got put into Div 1. Congratulations. And that's it. That's all that happens.
Like. Let's just get the details. Basically, so far, at this point in time, Vanilla TV had a big whopping 0 Prem ETF Dwell games casted so far, and it was like week 4 or something. Yeah, and basically, there was a Prem game. On that night, we had casters, we had streamers, but there was a playoff game to decide who got promoted and relegated, like who stayed in Div 1 Highlander and who got relegated from Div 1 Highlander. And that was casted instead.
It kind of, to me, we only had one streamer. We had Comedian, I think was the only streamer. And it kind of came down to his choice, like, because obviously you can't force someone to do what they don't want to do. So, like, it was just really, really strange. And then we didn't even try and do like a mumblecast or anything. Like, I don't really know what happened, but it kind of came down to it that it just felt like Comedian's decision completely. And basically, from what I gather, he casted the actual Highlander game, and he would have only streamed the 6v6 game. So, oh look at that! You can understand where that's coming from. So, yeah, bit of a strange one from my point of view.
It just seems ridiculous, to be honest, from my point of view. Fuck strange, it was ridiculous.
Well, us three were arguing the 6v6's point for quite a bit of time.
See, but it's like arguing against a brick wall, though. It's just like it would be like this game would be more important for us to cast, and he goes, "On what basis are you saying that?" I'd be like, "What?" You know, I mean, it's just like I don't know. It's just hard to when someone won't change their point of view, and there's nothing you can do. Like no matter how many good points you throw at them.
Yeah, but then it's like the other day. It's the same as some of the other things that have gone on, like why certain people haven't been allowed to cast and stuff like that. So we haven't casted a game because people haven't been allowed to cast it. It's like some of the same weird decisions, and like you just get used to it. It's pretty much what my stance on it is vanilla TV, but
it's almost getting to the point where it's like there's no point arguing because it's just going to go nowhere, and I would just end up getting more wound up arguing. So I might as well just flog it off.
Yeah, for once, I'm not just being quiet because it's my like absentee stoner act or whatever, but I don't think I have anything to say without completely overstepping my bounds and getting myself in trouble. Because it's
that's alright.
Like,
I'm already always in trouble, so it's
indeed,
fine.
Indeed. But let's just say it's absurd, isn't it?
The thing that I found was really strange, the major thing, is I think we had some 6v6 casters that were around, and we didn't bother trying to do a mumblecast. That's the one thing that I found really, really strange. Like, because if I had been the one that was casting, and I'd been refused to cast because we had casted Highlander, I would have been like, what the fuck, I'm still casting it, I'll cast a mumble for the people that want to listen. Like, that's one thing that, like, because we only have one streamer, basically. So, and that's what they put it down to, is we only have one streamer, and I just, like, that was a really, really weird thing that happened. But I think we should not really talk about it very much more. Like, it's not really much more to say. If you want to read the arguments that gone, I think the post still has a lot of it on, like, where people are going, what? Why is this being casted? So, like, people have made their views, and their views heard. And it hasn't gone through, so it's pretty much it.
I feel like something like that wouldn't happen again now after the fuss that was kicked up, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel it would be a lot harder for the same thing to happen again. Touch wood.
Yeah.
Right. Should we move on to games?
Yeah, do it.
And
Do you have the list there?
wait. Let's rewind just a second. And just for a quick announcement, ESEA Invite is finished. The top four
course, yeah.
teams are in this order: Flow, Seriously Blow, Seriously Bro, Freudian Slip, Quantic Legacy, and Classic Mix Up. Slightly
order?
In that order.
Wow.
Bro, really.
Stepped it up.
Yeah,
I thought I thought it would have gone. My predictions and like after a couple of weeks of the season would have been Flow, Mix Up, Bro, and Quantic in that order. That's what my predictions would have been. So there's a little bit of a change there, which should be pretty cool. So that means that obviously the seeds play against each other in like it's a double limb. So first plays fourth, which means it's going to be Mix Up versus Flow for the first game.
No. Back up a few steps. Not because I missed it, but because you're wrong. Quantic are actually fourth seed. It was originally anticipated they would get the third seed because of their win over Flow, but the way it works in the ESEA is that it's head-to-head is the first determining factor if you're tied on points. And Mix Up won both their matches against Quantic this season, so they're taking third with Quantic in fourth.
Okay.
Well, I've spoken to a few of the Quantic players before the game, and they said that they feel more comfortable playing Flow when they haven't played any games yet. If you see what I mean, it's the first fresh game, so they'll feel more comfortable playing them in that first versus fourth seed game than playing in the winner v winner in the upper bracket sort of thing. So from Quantic's point of view, maybe that's better for them, but I don't know really. And that means the other game's going to be Bro versus a Mix Up, yeah. So I think I don't know really. I don't really know enough about the teams and their like actual previous LANs within the LAN experience to be able to call that very well.
In my opinion, I reckon it's going to go Flow Quantic at the end. Like Quantic always stepped up for LAN, and if anyone saw the last game Quantic played in this season against Flow to stop their unbeaten record, that was an incredible comeback. And
I was going to say, if you haven't seen that game, guys, please go download the Source TV or watch it courtesy of XTV. It was C-Bear and Sigma, DJC as well.
DJC. Who's that? Why doesn't DJC cast Vanilla? Because he's pretty active in the EU scene, isn't he? Like I've seen him around a few times.
Yeah. I quite enjoy his cast when he casts CSEA games. Seems to have a lot of insight and good commentary.
Yeah,
oh well. I guess no one's.
Let's stop these subtle little hints, shall we, guys? But yeah, I'm just do go watch that game. C-Bear was casting, as I said, so it's well worth watching. So it's
Clockwork turned it on. And before that game, Clockwork played an EU double mix. So I think we all know what the real highest standard of TF2 is to get people warmed up for ESEA invite officials.
He just plays that higher level of TF2 to get himself warmed up. That's what it is.
Yeah, to be fair, like on a serious note, it probably did actually help him because I don't know if you've ever played like with high ping for a while and then gone immediately back to low ping, but you feel like a fucking god.
He was playing Demoman as well, so you would have really felt the lag.
Yeah, like I don't know. Whenever I find that I've played some American games and then come back to EU for a couple of hours at least, like it feels just everything's so much. It's like obviously a complete placebo. You're not actually better, and it's not actually easier, but just comparatively, you feel so much more confident because everything just feels it's so much more responsive. So you just get like in the zone or whatever.
Get in the zone, Cadus. Pro tips to becoming prep. Just get in the zone.
For lack of a better expression.
Also, I want to link this quickly because I found this hilarious. Basically, Bro are raising money to get themselves to LAN, like XTV are helping them raise money. And they've started uploading like videos to YouTube, like YZ50's in a blog. And there's this video of their comm in an invite official, and it's just very funny that they get away with that. Like, they're just so naturally good as a team. Yeah, Bro.
Oh, so Bro was trying to come to I-46 as well with the help of XTV?
This is to get to ESEA LAN. This is to get the LAN final in America.
Yeah, okay.
So they're doing producing a load of content to try and help raise money and stuff. So if you're Russian and have a lot of money just lying around, why not?
Yeah. So also on the same note, do you want to go into what Harblu said on one of the posts somewhere about their I-46 plans?
He's mentioned it somewhere. I might have heard this secondhand as well. Basically said Harblu's said he's going to use the first place ESEA LAN money to fund themselves to I-46, which obviously is very dependent on them winning first place at I-46. But there seems to be a lot of talk whereas whoever gets first place will use it to go to I-46, if that makes sense. Like, that idea has been thrown around a lot.
Yeah, so was it when Rich was on Pirate Radio the week that we talked about this, or was it him in a chat channel somewhere? I just remember him saying stuff like mainly about Flow, saying that if need be, I think they can all fund themselves to go. I don't know whether they would want to, but I'm pretty sure they could all do it. And then also they got Brad in their team, don't they? Is that right? And
Yeah.
apparently Brad could like fund most of them to go anyway. So that's what I've
Oh,
heard.
yeah.
I don't know if this is
So
because, as I said, I don't know if this is because they're so confident about winning land, but like I've had a few conversations with Soup and like, well, like
Name
been on
drop.
Mumble whilst Pure has been having a few conversations. And there goes my phone. Also, but yeah,
Is it sick?
they're talking like they're going and it's set in stone and like it's not like we'll go if we raise the money or we're gonna try and go or we're gonna whatever. It's we're going. And he's like, I mean, Soup was literally asking me like for directions for how he gets from the land to some place in Liverpool to do with the Beatles or something, God knows like that. But yeah, they're adamant basically. But like I say,
oh,
I don't know
okay.
if that's because they're arrogant about LAN or if they actually have backup plans. But yeah,
I
It
think it's
sounds like they've got
off the
backup
cuff.
plans. So, but I don't know. We're like everything's up into the air until they book it, pretty much. So, and until stuff gets announced. But if they do announce stuff and about hopefully helping teams get there, I might have to donate something because it'd be awesome to have an American team here. But I have to wait and see really what actually happens with that. But it's cool to get little bits of news here and there about it. Do you want to go into the results for the rest of this week then, Zavi? Now we've done the
These
American
last
stuff.
few weeks, yeah, there's quite a few
Yes.
results to get through, so let's
Okay.
quick fire these. Basically, Too Strong beats Certo.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think there's nothing much to say about that. No offense, but like Too Strong are really pushing the top teams, or a lot closer to
Yeah.
pushing the top teams. And I'm not really surprised that they won when they actually had like a full lineup.
Yep.
And with the Certo having their problems as well.
I think we played that game with Ips as well, playing instead of Daleth, which did
Kind of had
affect our team.
ping problems
Yeah.
or something, yeah, all week, whatever. Next Prem result I can see is Epsilon beating Cracklan. Again, no surprise here. Then we get something interesting happens. TCM drew with Infused. How did he do it, Cadus?
I don't remember.
From what I remember, and I talked to Ads because we casted a game after this, it kind of felt like Mike wasn't playing anywhere near his usual standard, and some heads dropped in the Infused.
Took him out of the game, man.
Team.
Tactical. Took him out of the game. We were like, shut
Yeah.
down Mike. He's a sick gamer.
It felt like some heads were dropped and stuff, and there was something going on within the Infused team, and obviously TCM took advantage of it and took a map. So well played to them. And it was 2 golden caps, wasn't it? You lost a golden cap and won a golden cap, Cadus. I think that was right.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
So
Actually,
it was a good game,
Yeah.
so it's well worth going and watching if you haven't seen it, guys. I think Pledge and Ads casted it, so maybe, yeah, go watch it. I was going to say something else.
Seamless link. On to our next game. Cracklan beat Deserto. Again, I'd say it's a big win for Cracklan. And produced
really
the
big
also famous quote that I presume Tarkus is going to spam in any second now about
That
Poop
wasn't
going.
from the official. That
Was
was
that not
from
from the
like
official?
PCWs.
PCWs.
With them. Yeah, like that's from like PCWs where me and Poop were both trash. It was earlier in the week, and basically I'd been out in the field drinking all day, chilling out in the sun, and then they were like, "Oh, come play games." Oh god. And then I get back, and then apparently Poop's really drunk as well, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
times.
but one of the final nails in the coffin, really, for Deserto.
Yeah. Well, it was the final nail in the
For
coffin.
the actual
But
final
Poop
nail.
expected us to trash them, like absolutely trash them. Like 5-0, 2-0, be done in 20 minutes, sort of thing. And
How'd that go for you, Poop?
yeah, that's what it felt like to me. So yeah, and obviously it didn't happen. So oh well. Yeah, do you want to keep going
Yep,
on to the
keep
next games?
rolling it
We've already
through.
talked about that the Deserto stuff. So
Yeah, Crackland drew with Quarantine. I don't remember this game. Anyone else have any insights?
Crack Clan and Quarantine. I don't actually. I didn't watch any of that game. Was it
I've
casted?
got the score. I don't think it was. Apparently, it was got a link to live stream, so I guess it was casted. It was 4-1 on Badlands at 2 Crackland and 2-0 on Gravel Pits of Quarantine.
Oh yeah, I remember talking to Josh. Apparently, it didn't go too well. I think Beaver and Nace didn't play their best at all. And like from what he says, is
Blame the
that every
scouts,
time they
Josh.
get
Blame the
into
scouts.
whenever he gets into an official, he always seems to say like the players like frag really well on PCWs, and then it gets to an official, and he's the only one that's fragging. That's what he always says to me after games. But obviously, he might be a little bit of exaggeration there. And then they just absolutely dominated Gravel Pit, from what I heard, absolutely dominated, and they're expecting to completely trash Epsilon on it as well. So, which should be a good game. Watching them.
That's actually the next
versus
result.
Epsilon.
Epsilon v Quarantine. That's happened, Greg.
Oh, has it happened?
Century. Yes. From what I've not seen it, and I tried to find STV demos, but they're on Epsilon server, so fuck that shit. Basically, Snakewater was a 5-0 to Epsilon, and Epsilon won Gravel Pit 2-1, but Boomy says it was fucking close from what I hear. So really close.
Well, I'd say that's a really good 6-0 for Epsilon then, because they're never the best team on Gravel Pit. So, you know, obviously they won Snakewater pretty easily, and then getting a close 2-1 on Gravel Pit from their point of view, you know, it's 6 points in the bag they don't have to worry about now. So, yeah, good play from Epsilon. Obviously, we haven't seen it. I might be worth trying to get the demos, but chasing up F2 for some demos from last week is going to be a mission.
Let's go next result. Infused beat Too Strong. I think how full lineup were Too Strong in this game?
They were no GDK. They played with Thigh.
No, I think this is also one time who had lag all game as well, like all night.
Yeah, they seem to have a little bit of excuses afterwards. The game was like good. I've casted it with that Marable, worth watching, I guess. It was a decent game to watch, but you know, Infused kind of rolled it a little bit by the end. So there you go. Timey was drunk and Thigh was playing instead of GDK. So that's apparently what happened.
I find it funny
because
because
lagged out. They had to change server.
like Too Strong basically disregarded every other game like they had coming up in that period, and for like because we had a game for example with them the next day, which they ended up wildcarding because of Coin's like Brazilian expedition. But yeah, like apparently, but apparently they were literally just rehearsing like Snakewater and Gravel Pit or whatever maps it was, like specifically like for Infused all that time. And so much trash was talked, so I feel like I have to kind of just call that out. Like
Tyler was telling me earlier that was the first ever Gravel Pit official he's lost.
yeah, like I casually suggested that there was a chance they might lose, and he was like, yeah, literally, it was like I just like come up with the biggest bullshit you've ever come up with. I don't know. Kid's got downs, doesn't he? Anyway.
And then we're on to. Did you guys play Too Strong, or was that a to be played? Looking at you, Cadus. That wasn't played, was it?
No, you said it got wildcarded. You just said it then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then the final game was tonight's game. Woo! Cadus, talk us through it.
Oh, shit, Cadus, what happened, man?
What? Man, I don't know. Like, they play good. We play shit. Overall, they won. Like, I don't know. Like, what do I say, man? We just didn't play very well. There's not really much more to it. Like, I had
Can you blame Zebo not coming again?
No, like, it's not like that.
Again? Was he having another inappropriate slumber party?
Man, this kind of shit just gets, like, blown out of proportions. I mean, when you lose a game, it's natural. Like, you look at what could you have done differently or whatever. But when you feel like there was extenuating circumstances, like, you kind of overlook the analysis of the game itself and kind of look for, like, what hindered you, like, beyond that. Like, I don't know. This isn't why we lost, but me personally, like my performance, I was probably the worst I've ever played in like a TF2 official since playing like Div 1 Prem. I mean, I moved out of my student house today and then drove 150 miles, getting home at about 19:45 CET. I'm not going to say that's why we lost, but that's why I personally was not basically up for playing today. Like, my head wasn't in it like whatsoever. Like, I don't know if you ever, if for any students who've ever moved out of a student house, like, you probably know like what kind of a task that is.
Yes.
Like, it was not like not a pretty day. And so, like, I don't know, that's me personally. That's why I played shit. Why did the team lose? Because on the day, Punchline were the superior team. So, like, I'm alright with that.
I know you like a lot has been made of TCM blew it kind of thing.
Yeah,
Also,
I think it's
I think
actually like,
Punchline,
yeah, that's
like
it.
me, Taimu, and Crouton. Crouton's getting the links now for RC. Did like a casual cast. Great timing, Crouton, and literally Punchline wrecked it. Like Flippy, Tech, Captain Hacks, blah blah, Flynn, K3, all of them were sick. Like especially, I was really impressed by K3 because I've not really seen that much of him, and I thought he played sick today. All of them.
Like
Played.
I think like Punchline are this team that everyone overlooked at the beginning of the season, and you know you look at it now and they've had some really good results, and it wouldn't surprise me if they keep going like that on that on that form. You know the same sort of thing as what I'm expecting Too Strong to do. You know, and just keep grabbing points here and there, and maybe even sneaking in that playoff position. I mean, I haven't actually looked at how many points they're on at the moment, but like after that result today, if they played as well as you said they did, then that's awesome.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
feel it's kind of like, I don't know. Obviously, like it's still an upset. I like to think we could have done a lot better, but I think people do. Like, I agree. People do actually quite overlook Punchline because looking back on our PCWs, I mean, they were nothing like that. Like, don't get me wrong, they weren't that kind of bad. But I mean, they've taken maps with like close maps, that kind of thing. Like the result overall, like it's not a good result for us, but it's not the result that we're that disappointed with really, as opposed to just the general performance. Because I think Punchline are a team that really deserve a lot more kind of respect than they get, if you know what I mean.
Like literally, well, everyone else, like you've been like quite stop and start. You know, everyone else has not. They've just sort of been getting their head down, playing their game, and working on their game as a team.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
it
They
took
they
points
also
of
have like
crap.
they're also one of those teams that have a lot of like freshness about them because the French community is quite active and like playing together and that kind of thing. So I see a lot of these players like even over the weekends like playing quite a lot of games. And don't call me out if you didn't play this weekend, lads. Like I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying like they do seem to be like have that freshness that a lot of like players don't quite have.
Why aren't you
Like
fucking double mixing Zebasai?
yeah, well no, it's true. Like I mean, it is just
I
a
know what
thing
you
in
mean.
TF2.
At
Like the best
shops,
players don't play; they just play with their team, and the teams don't really play that much. So a lot of the time, the DM and that kind of stuff isn't very sharp. Whereas Punchline, they got like the team practice in, and they're all like quite. I think they all seem quite keen to play like individually as well, which is like really important.
I just want
They
to add it's
deserve it, basically.
really cool to have a French team like doing so well in Prem because they've always had such a decent
community.
scene. Like they've had the probably they easily got the best community at the moment, and domestic community. So really awesome to have them performing. So I do think you have to wait and see like until all the games get played out and stuff like that because everybody at the moment in Prem can beat everybody else. And it's so interesting what's happening at the moment, and like while I think Epsilon and Infused will easily grab those top two spots, the other two are really open at the moment, and it's going to be cool to see who gets there.
If only there wasn't so many good Highlander games on, we could see more of it.
Yeah, well, I think Arcs and Beta are trying to do this cast every Tuesday. I think me and Ads are going to start doing one on a special set day as well. So
You're gonna come up with a catchy name,
yeah,
like an ABC.
we were thinking WAG at the moment. Get Warden in and then WAG, perfect.
Ah, I like it. It's a complete rip-off, but I like it. It's nice.
So we'll wait and see. But we probably will start trying to do something like that. So which should be cool. What else has happened then, Xavier? Or is that it for the past couple of weeks?
Oh, Tarkus. Yeah, this is basically what's happened. Tarkus wants us to predict who's going to be third and fourth in Prem. Them, to like complete the playoff slots.
Okay, well, why don't we
sort
go
of
through the
halfway
games that are
step.
coming up in the next couple of weeks,
Do next
and
week.
then the next week, and then we'll do we'll end the show on predicting who we think is going to come third and fourth.
Let's just do week 6 because ETF World. No one plays by the actual ETF World system. I know I certainly don't. I've just played my first official last week. So week 6, it's Badlands and Obscure. Yep,
Okay.
we're gonna have to deal with it. Cracklan, I'm playing TCM. I'm gonna go TCM.
What is it?
Himsy's gonna be too strong.
Yeah, you keep going, sorry.
Yeah, I think Himsy's gonna be too strong, and surely Bite can't lose on his home map. Surely.
What maps is it?
Badlands and Obscure. Obscure.
Oh God.
I get too excited.
Indeed.
I think it'll be 3-3.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
Apparently, it's on Thursday, according to his website.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
Okay, so
thanks
you've
for
got
Can
3
confirm.
days to practice a map you've not played yet, and you're playing really badly. I'm gonna go 4-2 to CC.
Cade has just lost himself a prediction point on the Greg. Also, Quarantine, I'm going to be playing Deserto, and I'm going to have to go 6-0 Quarantine, because Deserto are just in it for taking part now, and Quarantine are actually pretty decent.
Cadis, what do you reckon to that game? Same? I guess we're gonna all go for the same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll go for the same as well. What's the other two games?
Punchline Infused, which I I want to get like a punchline hype after tonight, but I still kind of think it'll just be 6-0 Infused, really.
Yeah, like I'd be in the same boat as you, like Punchline hype, but
Hope,
unfortunately,
hope.
like when I used to play in Infused, like Obscure used to be one of our like really awesome maps that we used to like playing. I still I say like we used to like playing. We hated playing it, but we always used to get results from it. So I'm gonna go 6-0 Infused.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be like a spirited loss, if that makes sense. Like, I'm hoping
Yeah.
they'll make it a bit of show of it.
Well,
I never
Obscure will be
know.
slow as
Obscure,
fuck. Flippy will
Flippy,
be sniping, and then Infused won't know how to push it. So maybe a 0-0 into a 1-0 golden cap.
a possible 0-0, where Infused go to push every time, and then Dunk just dies to Flippy every time. It's like,
Yep.
nearly.
Well, they
um,
Ubered like well before the doorway, and then they're like, "Oh, now we can't do anything. Let's just stay here."
yeah, Punchline will be on the other side of mid, so it'll take him like 3 buses and a 20-minute walk to get there.
Yeah, indeed.
And
Okay, this is what about you? What do you think of that game?
Yeah, man, it's a 6-0, isn't it? Like,
Okay.
I'm bitter, man. Fucking bitter. Fucking roll them. Roll those frogs. Get them.
And what about
and
the last game of the week?
it's Too Strong versus Epsilon.
But that
Taimu,
would be the
have you
delay
ever
quite late,
bad
won't it?
What match is it?
Yeah, it's Badlands and Obscure, but it probably won't be played, obviously, because Taimu and Coins aren't here. Taimu with a confirmation in chat. Taimu, have you ever lost an official on Obscure? Get some info from Taimu from the chat.
Okay, so maybe we should predict that game. I don't think Too Strong will be able to do it because I don't think Coins is back yet. So they're going to be using someone else, and they're playing. Apparently, they're going to be playing 3 officials next week. So there won't be much chance for them to practice Obscure. Maybe they'll steal some points. I don't think they'll win a map straight out though.
Also, I don't think they can have like 3 game nights, and Taimu's definitely going to end up getting drunk on one of them. Like, it's just
Yeah,
going
he's
to
been
happen. No,
upset.
three in 1 week, he's gonna be drunk for one of them at least. So you've got to kind of factor that into your prediction.
Yeah, indeed. So I think Epsilon will take it. You know, whether it be 5-1 or 6-0, I don't know, but yeah, Epsilon will take it. What about you, Cadis?
Yeah, I hate to be boring, but it's, yeah, 6-0, 6-0.
Okay. Is that all the results? All the games for next week? Do you want to do the week after, Zavi? No, screw it. We'll
do
try
it
and do
next
it.
week.
Yeah, we'll try and do one next week. Do you want to go through predictions for third, fourth at the end of the season then? Who we think is going to grab those playoff
Should we do
spots?
our top 4 at, let's say,
Yeah.
roughly the halfway stage? Let's roughly. I'm going to go Infused, Epsilon, Too Strong, CCM.
Aww.
You still made the cut, bro. You still made the top 4.
Oh, that's so cool.
What are you saying, Greg?
I am thinking the
Brilliant.
hang on. I reckon Epsilon will actually top the season this time. Infused normally do. Epsilon then Infused. Okay. Then who do I want to go for? I think Too Strong will grab a spot. I don't know whether these third and fourth, I don't know who's gonna turn out where. I think Too Strong will grab one. And then I don't know who's gonna grab that last one. There's so many different names they could go into. I don't think TCM will do it anymore, honestly. I think that's too big of a loss, and I think they don't have enough time to practice. Really, you know, they took 2 weeks off, and with those 2 weeks off, it's ruined them for the playoff spot. So up between Punchline and Crackland, I'd say for the last spot.
What about quarantine? Are quarantine not in
Then
it?
no, I don't think they are. I don't think they are at all. So there you go. Up between, do I want to make a decision? Punchline. Let's go for it. Let's annoy Tarkus. Punchline.
Punchline hype. They won these 2 maps this one time. Best team in the world.
There you go.
Cadus, talk us through your top 4.
I think Epsilon will take the season, like the top spot seed, or however you say it. I think they dropped 1 point so far. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like realistically, it's just going to come down to their individual game with Infused. I don't know what maps that's over. That's over apparently Obscure and Gully Wash. So, like realistically, Epsilon only needs to take 1 map, and if you're gonna see an Epsilon Infused game, you kind of expect them each to take a map. So I'm gonna say Epsilon number 1, Infused number 2. I really don't know about the playoffs because I haven't looked at the results, because it's not really about who I think's better than who anymore. It's about who's like got the points and who's fucked up. So obviously in TCM's case we've
have left and stuff like that.
like in TCM's case we've like fucked it up really. Like I think we can still do it, and to be honest, like my heart says we're still gonna do it, because I think today was us like a low point, if you know what I mean, and the only way really from here is up. And
The only way
is up, man. But I think much to everyone's surprise, the attitude in the TCM camp at the moment is actually a lot more positive than anyone would probably care to believe. Like, it's not like, oh my god, we're so shit, should we fold, whatever. It's like, fuck, what the hell was that? Let's fucking get out there and see some hustle, or whatever. Like, so I think I'm still going to say we're going to do it, but I'll give us like 4th if we really like put it in. I think 4 for us. But I can only really realistically see like Crackland being like a contender if we do what we can do. But I think 3rd is probably going to be 2 strongs, like I assume.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they drop points to quarantine, but realistically, like against all the lower teams, you'd expect like their kind of aggression or like balls out play just to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe shit can go fuck because they have got a tough time. But I think like realistically, they should take 3rd now, based on more of the other teams' faults than their own merits. But yeah, that's how I'll see it going.
Can I ask you something about what you said, in your camp at the moment as such, what you guys are thinking? How much of that is to do with the fact that you guys are now officially TCM, and how much of it is to do with like you guys just actually wanting to compete or whatever? Is there anything like proper factors that is making people want to play, or is it not dragging people down?
Well, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know, like we let ourselves down, like if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Punchline because I do think they're a much better team than people give them credit for. But even with that considered, like we should have beaten them. And I think it's just kind of like, yo, we got to fucking actually like put the effort in and like get our heads in it, because like I don't know, like just let ourselves down. We just kind of want to prove that we did let ourselves down, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Prove tonight was just a blip, not an accurate representation of what.
And we've learned things about ourselves tonight that we probably didn't we knew before, but we weren't really aware of before, and that we should have been doing. Like not so much in game, but more like our approach to the game in general. And I think that's going to be like quite a big help.
All right. Yeah. Go for it, Zach.
I was going to say, looking at the tables right now, there's nothing between anyone really. Like even Infused aren't actually that far ahead of everyone points wise. It's like literally there's nothing in it, so it's just going to come down to who can get the results on the day.
But obviously you've got to look at how many games have been played, and I don't think
that's what I mean. Like factoring that in, like
I don't think Infused Too Strong has gone on that yet.
Too Strong do seem to be in the best position considering Kane's played.
Infused Too Strong isn't on there because Infused beat Too Strong. So Too Strong are actually on 6 games played. Infused are on 8 games played and 21 points. So like Infused are actually miles ahead of Crackland. It just hasn't gone on there yet.
Right. Well, Too Strong is in a pretty comfortable position.
Yeah, they still are in a good position.
2 games in hand, 3 points behind.
Exactly. So I think we have to wait and see, really. But Yeah, it should be a good end to the season, really, and hopefully Vanilla TV will be casting a lot more of the games so people can find out what's going on. Have you found out the deal about DJC yet, Zavi?
No, no, no.
Shout out to
No.
DJC. There we go.
Free DJC!
Uh, I'll let you finish, Zavi, and I can go to bed.
One more shout out now, but like respect to Youngblood. Obviously, I presume most people have seen Vanilla Post. I didn't know him that well personally, but you know, like everyone said him a post. Nice guy, always respectful. It's a shame.
Like, lots of people had so much respect for what he did for the community. Like he was always there. Like his writing for Cadred and stuff like that. That is just, it's a shame that he's not with us anymore.
And on that somber note, that's been Pyro Radio. Thanks for listening. See you next week, probably.